You're live, it says.
You are live.
Can we check once? Okay.
Now. Sure, sure. We're live.
Oh, all right. Nice.
Fine.
Cool. Um, so you
So,
begin, yeah. You start, yeah.
yo, hello guys. To who all are waiting online and also offline here, we can see a lot of guys. So let me give you a brief introduction about the collaboration. Like you already have know, like most of you are present in the first session, I guess. So we have collaborated with Pathway. It is building LiveAI systems. Essentially, like Pathway has been collaborated with us from it has also has participated in Inter IIT TechMed. Like that's where I met them for the first time, and that kind of led to some collaborations. And in this Epoch too, we are gonna have a hands-on session. Like most of you guys have asked, there was a lot of information we needed some hands-on. So that's what we brought to you in the Epoch too. So in this, you will be led by Saksham Goel. He is a developer advocate at Pathway, and he is also the main lead who is contacted for us for the collaboration. Thanks for him. He is an IIT Delhi graduate, and he mainly focuses on making the AI accessible to students and developers. So over to you, Saksham. I hope the
Mm-hmm.
all of us at the IIT Bhilai community can get a really good hands-on on building the pipelines.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Keshav. It's always very nice to get a warm welcome from the community, especially if it's the entire IT community. And welcome to the hands-on session, guys. Um, it's a session which is powered by Pathway, and I mean, we'll be building a lot of cool AI or GenAI applications. I mean, the main focus of these collaborations is to bridge the industry and academia gap, right? Because industry is asking something else, and um, professors in the universities or even uh, the courses which you get taught in university, they are slightly outdated, or I would say the AI space is moving quite fast. So I mean, just giving a brief introduction about what I feel about these sessions, about these collaborations, is that I get many messages, about this AI update fatigue. Like there are many agentic tools, very hyped up benchmarks, and also there's this whole influencer noise. But what I'll suggest you is to, stop doubting your AI learning journey. It's a slight it's a gradual progress, and here's how you can stay grounded by, going through the bootcamp curriculum because it walks you through, how exactly are Gen AI applications built, and even you can apply AI in any field you want. I don't know if you follow Y Combinator, but I recently heard a talk from Andrew and Jeevan, the sort of godfathers of AI, talking that using coding in every field would be important, right? So you need to know, I don't know, probably AI assisted coding, know your core well. I mean, I'm also still trying to figure out a lot of things by reading through a lot of papers, etc. But yeah, I mean, understand how these large language models or how the underneath GPT architecture works. Then you grasp some of the tools like deep research, what is Cursor, what is Claude Code, or even frameworks like Pathway, because they are the frameworks which are defining what's coming next, right? So focus on the real challenges. Like today we'll be moving. I'll be your guide today as we dive into building real-time AI applications, and we'll explore how to build, retrieval augmented generation pipelines. I'll tell you in a while what is RAG if you don't know right now. But I hope everyone is ready with their computers. I don't know if you still have time. You can probably do a simple pip install pathway if you have Mac, or on your collab. You can do a simple pip install pathway if you're on Windows, right? So I mean, talking about myself first, I mean, thanks for the introduction. I'm an IIT Delhi graduate, and I've been with Pathway, deep research, San Francisco-based startup, and the learning journey has been quite incredible as of now. So, Pathway is designed to enhance the developer experience, as you can see. Also, there's a quick link in the bottom half of the slide. So, give a nice intro because there are a lot of cool AI researchers, who have worked with Google, Meta AI, etc. So make your introduction count here. Go to this Discord intro and probably, not just only talk about your career or even uh, not only talk about how you are, what exactly have you learned till now, or what are your aspirations. Let's say someone is building a startup idea, if they're still figuring out things, you can give a cool introduction. The developers here at Pathway are very helpful. So yeah, I mean, before we get started, I mean, I don't know, quick show of hands, I guess, if we are screening it offline, like who's here to build their first AI app today? I mean, I'll also check the comment section if there is. All right. I mean, go to this link, URL link to join Pathways Discord. We've got some cool AI researchers. So tell us who you are, your experience, and where you are currently studying and working. So here's what's on the agenda for today. We'll start about something about what's the special ingredient about Pathway, like why you should care, what makes the platform unique, and how exactly it is Python friendly and it is easy to use, right? Then we'll move to what is RAG. RAG is, I mean, simple creating chatbots, all that AI buzz. We'll exactly understand the core architecture on what exactly RAG is, and then we are adding a key term which is real-time RAG. We'll define how real-time RAG works with your data, which keeps changing, right? And then we'll see a live demo. Probably we'll be building using both YAMLs and Python, and we'll be using Docker to build. So I'll then reveal the problem statement for the hackathon. So by the way, I don't know if Keshav is still here. Um, we also have a hackathon planned for everyone here, where there's a cool prize money, and those of you who participate in this hackathon and they build a project, they'll be getting some cool t-shirts. I mean, yes, you can flaunt that you participated in this hackathon. You'll be getting certificates of appreciation signed by our CTO. So
I mean,
yeah, I
many
mean,
of my juniors have already seen me in Pathway T-shirt actually in the first session.
oh yeah, that's actually quite cool. Yeah, that was our main thing, that you guys are comfortable in wearing those t-shirts, and yeah, the quality is quite nice, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then we'll walk you through the problem statement, tell you the perks again of participating in this hackathon. Going through this boot camp would obviously increase your chances of winning the hackathon. Um, Moving on, we'll compare different frameworks, AI frameworks, RAG frameworks, which are out there, and how exactly Pathway fits in, and how exactly is it different from others. We'll also move beyond the standard chatbots where a chatbot is answering the query in the form of natural language, right? You ask a question, you prompt the LLM, and then you get the answer in English language. But we'll see some cool demos of your AI apps where it's not only about answering it in natural language, but you can also expect it to answer in some other form. Then we'll obviously open the floor for Q&A, and then I'll share the closing remarks, and probably I'll invite Keshav again on the stage. Yeah, so I mean, this slide I liked because AI is the talk of the town. I mean, Sundar Pichai also mentions AI around 132 times, I guess, in his speech, in his Google keynote speech. And yeah, with the advent of all these models, exhausting all the data which is there on the internet, I think it's very important to understand the core architectures and to build applications on the top of it. So I don't know. I'm willing to give a free T-shirt to one person who answers the fastest. Like this is sort of a fastest fingers first. I mean, which can give me the all the logos from left to right correctly. And I mean, yeah, I'll give you some time. I think chat is disabled. So Kisha, I cannot see the chat by the way.
I guess the
I mean,
charge is disabled. That's what I'm checking, like how to enable it.
mm-hmm.
Just give me a second. Like you can like continue. Like I'll check on it.
Okay, all right, all right. I mean, I just want to ensure that people, if they have some doubts, they can. I mean, we are able to answer them.
Sure, sure.
Otherwise, it's fine.
I'll,
Yeah. So I mean, I'll probably skip the t-shirt round for now because we don't have the chat functionality. But yeah, I mean, left is OpenAI, Anthropic, Perplexity, XAI, NVIDIA, Scale, Google, Google's cloud offering, and then there's Pathway. So all these AI applications are there, but most of the solutions they miss a critical piece, which is working with data which changes in real time, which keeps changing, right? Which keeps updating. Let's say you are fetching data from an API source, or you're fetching data from unstructured documents, but then those documents keep on changing. So that's where Pathway fits the gap. Um, First of all, Pathway, as the name suggests, it's sort of a pathway for your data, right? And then it's very ready to use framework. I mean, Pathway is all about simplicity and giving you that developer experience in Python so that you don't have to even worry about the computations because there is a Rust engine which works underneath. And then obviously there's this AI tooling. You can build your chatbots, you can build your AI pipelines that work with your data. So it sort of provides the entire data infrastructure layer, right? I mean, we'll learn more about what is ETL, what is RAG, but in simpler language, ETL simply means that your um, sort of your data enters your system or moves from one system to another. You have these connectors, like both input and output, where you take the data from one particular source and then you, let's say, do some transformations, right, on those tables, on those structured or unstructured, semi-structured data, and then you put it into another warehouse, data warehouse, right? And then what is RAG? We'll see it in some time. So this is kind of the slide which I like a lot because it's very difficult to understand what thousands of companies are doing, right? But this simple architecture diagram will tell you what exactly Pathway is doing, what exactly is its core architecture, right? So in the left-hand side, as you can see, there are these data sources which you pull the data from using input connectors. At the core, obviously, is the Rust-based streaming engine, which sort of helps you ingest the data from 300 plus data sources. We support um, all sorts of external APIs to file systems, to your documents which are stored in Google Drive, right? SharePoint. And there's this electrifying signal, as you can see, which means real-time sync. I mean, as soon as the data changes in any of that data source, Pathway will quickly, due to its reactivity and its incremental indexing. Sorry for the jargons. Yeah, I'll try to use them less. But yeah, so the framework handles the extraction part, transformation part, and then loading part. Obviously, if you want to query your application, then you need some sort of an API interface where you sort of use the endpoints, right, to get the answer from that application. And then you can connect to external API sources like different models like GPT, Hugging Face, Mistral, everything. So it's an enabler sort of for your data's pathway, right? For large scale of data. It enables intelligence, right? Live intelligence. And on the top, as you can see, there's this AI pipelines which you can configure in Python, in SQL, or in YAMLs. So whatever is your favorite way of picking up the configuration logic, you can do in any of these languages, right? Or these tools. Now, I mean, quickly moving to the what exactly is RAG? So, as the name suggests, I mean, RAG means retrieval augmented generation. In the next slide, I'll probably it's easier to understand. Let's say you have documents. Let's say you have an exam tomorrow, and your professor has uploaded a lot of documents on a Google Drive folder, and now he keeps adding more and more PDFs. So you're kind of worried because at the last moment your professor has changed a particular slide and you don't know if the answer which like the correct answer to that question changed, right? Because the information which was present in the document changed. So at the end of the day, once you are creating a chatbot on those documents, where you sort of ask the LLM to ingest that data, whatever is there, and then ask it in in the form of natural language, then it's quite difficult for the LLM to work on the context which is changing, right? Because the professor added a new PDF and it was kind of difficult for the LLM to follow the change of information. But then you need to understand that it's not up to the LLM because LLMs are trained up to a certain extent, but what you need is a framework or is a tool which is separate from the LLM, where sort of engineers like us can innovate and increase the efficiency of the entire system. So what exactly do I mean by that? Is that there are documents. What happens is that these documents are parsed first into sort of LLM friendly way, like sort of make these GenAI documents LLM ready. And then you break that PDF into small chunks, right? Let's say it's a 100-page PDF, and one chunk means one page. So you have 100 chunks of that PDF. And then you are converting the text which is there in the PDF into sort of numbers, right? Into sort of vectors which your LLM understands very easily. Because at the end of the day, all that a neural network understand is numbers and not your natural language, right? And LLMs are sort of, you can think of it as next token simulator, right? But for improving the accuracy, you have this tool, uh, this engineering aspect, right? Which is the retriever component, right? Because your data is sort of private, whatever your professor's notes are, and obviously your LLM cannot be trained on your professor's notes, and obviously to increase the efficiency, you need sort of this engineering mechanism to provide that context to an LLM, right? So I mean, 2 years back, if you build a RAG application, I would be like, yeah, okay, this looks good on your resume. But now people they are slowly increasing a lot of um, slowly trying out different algorithms, to increase the efficiency. Like someone is, let's say, including the metadata on those chunks, right? Someone is, let's say, improving mixing two retrieval, algorithms to improve the accuracy, right? So I'll show you what I mean by RAG through a demo. I think that would make it more clear. Just bear with me. So retriever is sort of a context feeder. It feeds the data into an LLM. I mean, once you have a 100-page PDF, you have 100 chunks, like one page, one chunk, you convert it into a vector format or mathematical numbers, which the LLM understands. And let's say a user asks a query, right? And then the query is also converted into those numbers using the same uh, tokenizer which you use to convert those text into tokens, right? And then that query is run against those 100 chunks which we prepared and stored it somewhere. Obviously, right? You need to store those numbers, usually in a vector database. But you don't require a vector DB where you are storing all these vectors for building RAG. You can totally skip it, right? So you run that query's numbers and do some sort of cosine similarity where you are matching the query with those chunks and then retrieving the top six chunks which match to your query. So once you have augmented the knowledge, augmented means increasing the knowledge of the LLM, you generate. That is the third word, third letter, which is G, which is generation. You ask the LLM, now that I have given you the context, like the top six chunks, which are most similar to your query, um, your LLM would generate the answer, and obviously it would be more accurate. So, all right. I mean, I told you the heart of a real-time RAG pipeline. So, how exactly these frameworks like Pathway, they connect your data to your AI systems and delivers answers with accuracy and with low latency. Low latency means in less time, right? So there are basically two paths. One is the indexing stage, one is the querying stage. So writing path is on the left hand side and read path is on the right hand side, right? Left hand side, right hand side. Write is basically you're writing data, sort of, onto pathways tables, right? It's a where you're putting these unstructured documents into a particular format which you need, right, to work your transformations on. So we again reiterating what is RAG. For some of you, it might be difficult because the entire problem statement of the hackathon relies on this. We start with connected data sources like SharePoint, PDFs, PowerPoints. You can plug in anything from your uh, API feeds or your unstructured documents, and then these documents which are present, they go through a document parser, which sort of it extracts. This is totally optional, by the way. I mean, um, we'll come to it in a bit of detail. You can probably skip this step, but once you um, right? All that enriched data that flows into in-memory indexing engine. Like in-memory indexing engine means sort of a vector DB only, but yeah, you don't need an external system for a RAG. Everything is unified here, right? Everything is handled within pathway only. Like the data flows from pathway to pathway only, right? Um, I mean, once you break down those chunks, you split them, and then you create those chunks and then store the embeddings in the this index engine. And then on the read path is that where a user sends a query like what's the I don't know delivery delay caused in my package, right? So then it goes through a REST API service. I mean, you can Google REST API service where it's transformed the query is transformed into a embedded vector query, and then it hits the same memory index, and then it finds the most relevant chunks and returns them instantly. Like because here the LLM part is not there because LLMs they can be tricky, right, to work with because sometimes I mean, all you can do to improve your accuracy on a GPT window is like just say please answer this question, right? And then also LLM doesn't listen to you because it's sort of a black box system. But yeah, so from indexing to querying stage, this is how your frameworks like Pathway they turn your disconnected or unstructured files into a live intelligent AI system in production, right? So yeah, moving on, I think to the section where it's the live demo, right? I would want to ask you guys to um, go through this tiny URL link, and then once you open it, I'll show you how um, exactly you can build with Pathway, right? So here I'm using an OpenAI API's key, but you can also work with Gemini, which is present in the next section. So what I'm exactly saying is once you click on this URL link, um, I think this thing opens hands-on development, which is the final learning module. If you have any doubts, by the way, for the first four modules, you can also keep doubt sessions. Um, if there are a lot of you who have doubts, but you can obviously use the Discord server. So, I mean, you also start the repositories because there are two repositories of Pathway. One is the main GitHub repo, which is the main Pathways engine, which has all the ETL templates, etc. And one is the LLM app repo, which is quite important for you guys because this is built on top of Pathways engine, right? So that you can build these LLM apps. And there are some cool examples like how you can like see a slide AI search demo, right? Where I'll show you in a detail. And this was also presented in some of the summits. You can see the GitHub repository and you can replicate the code. You can also go through the architecture overview. So there are some prerequisites for this last module, which obviously gets you going with the hackathon. It's you get simple Git Python. You see if you have pip, you have OpenAI API key because everyone is building with OpenAI API key, so you can get it on the website. So even if you don't have credits, let's say you can also use Google AI or Grok, the fast inference AI engine, which you can. There are a lot of models that are present in Grok, and you can use them, right? If you're on Windows, it is also fine. You have another reason to use Docker. Docker, basically, what is Docker? You can also go through the basics. What is Docker exactly? How exactly it um, helps us with the issues of like this thing is working on my machine and this thing is not working on your machine. So this kind of eliminates that thing. So once you see that your hands-on journey, um, so you'll first build a rack project using OpenAI API key, where you'll see the magic, how exactly is Pathway reactive to the data changes. You'll also see you can also use LLMs like Gemini or Grok, and then you'll see how you can set up an API as a data source. Let's say you are working with some API which is fetching your research papers from archive. right? So you can how you can plug in API as a data source. We'll also see how exactly can you use Pathway with different frameworks. Let's say if you're already building with Llama Index or LangChain, then how you can plug in Pathway's vector store inside there, right? The fourth part is where you can customize these pipelines with YAMLs. All the other three sections are using Python, your favorite language. But let's say someone wants to, you know, do all the configuration, like let's say picking the LLM, picking the retriever, picking the indexing strategy in one YAML file, then yeah, that's the way to go. I mean, so I'll go to the first RAG pipeline. I'll show you how you build with OpenAI. And if you have any doubts, I'm here. I don't know if the chat um, got enabled or not. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the content. I mean, you'll here use a vector store or document store using Pathway. I'll show you the code. Once you um, have the prerequisites installed and you have the OpenAI API key, then you can go ahead. You verify the Docker. I mean, I'll probably share my entire screen, I think. So I'm using Cursor, by the way. So so the standard steps in this module includes first you verify that whether your Docker is installed. So I'll probably run it side by side uh, so that to show you it's easy only. One sec. Yeah. So I've done these changes here, but I'll again show you. I mean, it's not rocket science. So once you see the Docker version, yeah, it says, yeah, Docker version 27.4.0. So this is because I've installed Docker using the instructions which are there in the prerequisite section. Then I git clone this repository. So basically, this is the repository I was talking to you about, LLM app, which shows how you can, build LLM applications on the top of Pathways framework. So there are different pipelines here. One is adaptive RAG. There are different pipelines here which you can go through. But the standard one is demo question answering, which we'll run today because it is the most basic app. And I mean, once you understand what exactly is happening here, you can also go through the other pipelines, right? So moving on to the next feature, I git clone this. And if you have, let's say, already git cloned, you git pull to get the latest version. And then I move to this directory, right? Now, because this particular repo contains the code in the form of YAMLs and not Python exactly, I mean, you sort of tell all the configurations in the form of a YAML file. But since Python is the hottest programming language out there, we'll probably work through the code in Python. So what you need to do is you need to change some of the things in this repository, like by um, copy pasting this exact content. Like what exactly is the content is after importing certain uh, you know standards like OS or certain modules from this. Then you set your license key. This is kind of important. You can get Pathways license key for unlocking more advanced features, right? And it's very easy to get a license key. I mean, you can see it on our section, like get free enterprise features here. Moving ahead, so uh, in the YAML, you probably just need to mention the source data source, and then in the data is stored, your file is stored in the data directory, and then yeah, you specify that here in the YAML file, and obviously you also specify what's the host and port, because then you'll expose this application via REST API endpoint, and then you can run those different API endpoints, right? And then you specify what LLM you are using, what's the embedder you are using for converting those chunks into the vector format. And then here I'm using the text embedding RR 2.0, 002, because this is a standard embedder model. So embedder is sort of again creating those numbers from chunks. And then there is a parser which you use to convert those documents before embedding, because you need to convert that into a format which is LLM ready, right? And these are some libraries which we have created wrappers for, right? And then you obviously specify the splitter, which splits the uh, that 100-page document into 100 chunks, and then you embed it into using the embedder, and then you obviously specify the indexing strategy. So for example, here I'm using a hybrid index factory, which means that what the LLM will do is that it will also rank your top six chunks out of those 100 based on the similarity score. So based on the meaning, based on the semantic meaning of that particular query, how much that query is relating to the chunks, right? Based on the meaning of that text. One is that. One is you do a simple control F, right? That is the BM25 search, where you do a simple control F on a PDF document and you search that particular keywords. And the number of keywords which the chunk which has the maximum number of keywords related to that query is outputted. Like it's chosen in the top six. And then you obviously have this scoring done, like you sort of re-rank based on the indexing strategy, like which particular chunk to give more priority to, whether it's the embedding one or whether it's the keyword search one, right? And then obviously you specify the host and port which it picks from um, the env file. So yeah, I mean, moving ahead, you obviously then create a document store where all those embeddings are stored. Like it takes these all arguments here, and then yeah. So moving ahead, so your app.py file contains everything from your LLM to your splitter to your embedder to your indexing strategy to your vector store. Your YAML file simply contains the sources, right? Where your particular PDF or your private data is stored. And then you also do some changes in the Docker Compose YAML file, because this is the file ultimately which tells the Docker to follow these instructions and run your application. Um, Major thing is that you obviously uh, create an env file with your OpenAI key, pathway port, and UI port. Obviously, my OpenAI key is exposed, but yeah, I mean, you cannot see it, I guess, till the end, so I'm fine. Um, So how to run the project? So one way is like, let's say if you're on Windows, then you obviously follow this section with Docker. But if you are on Mac OS or Linux based systems, then you can probably create a virtual environment and do a simple pip install requirements, because yeah, you need to install the Pathway framework first, and then you do a Python app.simple-py, right? Or if you, let's say, want to build with Docker, you do a Docker Compose build and you do a Docker Compose up. Yeah. Yeah, because the port is already allocated. So I'll probably run this application. One sec. Yeah, if you see, this is the applications UI. I mean, I already ran the code before this session, so you can see this is the indexed file. I'll show you the magic in a while. I mean, so let's say what are the two parties which are mentioned in the contract, because as you can see, this is sort of a content license agreement between two parties, which is Beijing Sun and You On Demand Holdings, You On Demand. So like, oh yeah, so yeah, I mean this is correct, and then it obviously gives you the context documents also, like which were the documents exactly which were sent to the LLM as the context. So it kind of makes it self-explanatory, this application. But the magic is, let's say if I add another file here, right? Then obviously you need to see how fast your pathways code index it. Like let's say you can add a file or you can delete one probably. So I'll probably delete one, and then there's nothing. right? And then once I don't know, refresh, and then yeah, so you do a simple refresh, and then just give me a moment here.
Any issue, Sachin?
Yeah, just give me a moment, थोड़ा सा, one sec.
Sure, sure, sure.
Just give me a moment. I mean, you guys can, I think, probably ask some doubts till then. I'm figuring out some stuff here.
Sure, sure, sure.
So yeah, I mean, I'll probably show you the demo in some while. Probably till then you can walk through the problem statement. I'll also help you walk through that. I mean, till that time I'm figuring out some stuff. You can probably access the link here to the problem statement, and then you can probably go through it. Also, we have a couple of things from my side. Start the repos, give a nice introduction to your Discord. That is for your benefit. And then um, we'll also have one session where the entire team from IIT Bhilai would be telling them about your experience, about their experience at IIT and what exactly did they build. I mean, it was obviously sort of a 2 month endeavor and sort of 2 month, working on a problem statement. Like it was in the domain of finance and healthcare. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a very good learning opportunity for them and for us as well. So meanwhile, you can access the link here.
Yeah, we share the link in the group so like we can.
Yeah. I'll probably share my screen again to show you the entire working of Pathway. I guess there was some issue from my end. So, I think before moving on to that, I think everyone is here on the document, so I'll probably walk you through this document first. So, yeah, this is an live GenAI hackathon, and it is there in the IIT Bhilai campus. So, what exactly is the format of this hackathon is that you'll get exactly 2 3 weeks, 2 weeks from now, I guess, right, Keshav? And then we'll be hosting a proper inter-IIT style hackathon where you form a group in the form of 4 or 5 people. We'll soon be floating a form for matching the teams probably tonight, and then five of you from each team, they'll be building on this problem statement where we tell about the background, what is the company, what are the states, what are the problem statement tracks, and then what are the solution requirements and deliverables from your end, and what exactly is the evaluation criteria, right? And once um, you go through the tracks and you pick one, you'll get 2 weeks of time to build, to show the demo, and we'll obviously there would be judges. There would be the entire IT team of IIT Bhilai who will be judging your hackathon, and there would be 2 or 3 people from our end who will be going through the code and the presentations on the weekend, which is on 7th of September, 6th or 7th, I guess, right? Um, and then yeah, um, we'll be handing out goodies. We'll be handing out prize money. I think we have announced the prize money as of now. Keshav, did we do that or? Um,
Yes, sir. We have now.
Yeah, and you'll obviously everyone from the team will get t-shirts from our end. And yeah, so this is sort of a good hackathon to put on the project. And I don't know if it's feasible from IIT Bhilai's end, but we can also keep it. Um, you can put these projects in resume, and you can believe me, you can get recruited faster. Yeah, and companies do see that you have built applications which work with live data, etc. So yeah, I mean about Pathway, I think I've blabbered a lot about Pathway. I'll probably directly move to the problem statement track. Um, so yeah, I mean, the main focus of Pathway lies in 3 or 4 domains. One is the financial markets, one is the logistics industry, manufacturing industry, customer data platforms. But yeah, so this hackathon's focus is on financial markets because they move so fast. We see that outdated AI tools, which where it's very difficult for traders or even financial analysts to face an information to build applications which go on stale data, right? And then there are these changing news feeds, there are these changing compliance, regulatory filings. So you need to understand that how that many AI systems which are working right now, they are respond to static or outdated insights. Because LLMs, they still lack real-time awareness. They obviously they are trained up to a particular benchmark and they miss the latest context. So we need, data infrastructure layer, like for example, frameworks like Pathway to bridge this gap. Information over delay. You can obviously go through the problem statement. I'll not go into the missed opportunities, outdated AI response, etc. The challenge is like build a live fintech AI solution where it's not a 5-day hackathon, sort of like depends upon the timeline. It's a 2-week hackathon starting now till 7th. You create an AI solution that works with data streams, like which works with data which is continuously flowing, and obviously you use Pathways streaming capabilities here. I mean, it's not that difficult. You just need to pick a particular track. For example, if you are building a trading copilot or if you are building a bot, sanctions bot, KYC behavior watchdog. Like watchdog is like watching if there is any live activity, right? Or you build a market anomaly detector. You suppose want to use the standard old school anomaly detection methods using pathways transformations. You can go ahead with that. So, or any other live fintech AI idea you can dream up, right? Whether it's the real-time data flow or AI that reacts to new data. So, you need to understand what exactly are Pathway's real-time AI superpowers. And everything is listed on so correctly. Like we'll focus on data ingestion, we'll focus on RAG, we'll focus on agents. Like this is the bonus part. I mean, if we see that some of your solutions are very, very up to the mark, someone from our team, even the CEO, will post about your solution, right? And I think that gives a lot of credibility in this space. And I mean, there's also a getting started guide, but obviously bootcamp curriculum is the best part, and specifically the hands-on module part. The solution requirements, they go from using Pathway, like you need to work with AI, which works with data streams. You need to understand dynamic indexing or the live indexing part. You need to create a demo video, like prepare a short 2 or 5 minutes video. And then obviously the main part of creating this video is that you show the reactivity, right? And then, yeah, you can also orchestrate your application with agents, right? Let's say if you want to add that reasoning part or you want to use MCP servers, right? For this, you're free to use. You're also free to use other frameworks, but yeah, we would recommend obviously using Pathway end to end because yeah, the functionality is supported. Like you can do the entire AI projects end to end with Pathway. So agentic RAG is optional here. I mean, uh, yeah. So a quick note here is that um, don't be um, don't be worried about um, that if your application is not good enough or if you feel that this is your first time playing with Pathway, there is a Discord server for your queries. And if someone of you is building the project, a t-shirt is guaranteed to them. Obviously, that project needs to be not the exact replica of what is there in the boot camps or in the GitHub repositories, but something special should be there. Like you probably changed you introduced a particular agent or you used MCP servers and then you kind of queried it using MCP clients, etc. And then, yeah, these are the deliverables which are expected from your end. And obviously, there would be a presentation round on 6th or 7th of September. We'll keep you updated. Right. And yeah, there are various data resources. Yeah. So please go through this document. I think this is the first time even Keshav is seeing this one. So yeah, this document.
So guys, you must have gone through the PS. Like we'll also be sharing it soon via mail. And for those who are kind of worried, we don't have any prior experience. I guess this session might have been helpful, and also never hesitate to reach out to our team. Like we're always available to help you with this.
Yeah. Thank you, Keshav. I mean, I don't know if you have any doubts right now, but you can obviously ping me. I mean, I'll also share my email ID in the chat for queries, but you can ping in the group. Discord service obviously there. I think Keshav did create that, I
Yes,
remember.
yes. We can, you can either contact him on the Discord also. That
Yeah, Discord is better, but yeah, I can also do
yes.
emails.
I mean, we prefer Discord because if anyone else who is also having the similar doubts will get to know.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Then better, yeah. So I mean, I think this much that covers our demos and everything. Probably go through the bootcamp material. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them, whether it's about the problem statement, it's about the prize money, about the t-shirts. I don't know, raise your hand or unmute. I don't think you can unmute. You can probably put them in the chat box. I'll wait for some time for more queries. And yeah, I mean, thank you for your energy and insightful questions today. I mean, I guess, and then explore Pathway, explore the GitHub, and obviously go through the problem statement in detail. Use AI to build something which is helpful to the world. Yeah.
So yeah, one question from the team here, those who are watching it offline. So maybe I can clear that. So we plan to make the problem statement official by tonight. Like we'll be giving it on mail. Let me just clarify the dates for you. So as soon as the problem statement is live, you can start building, working upon it. and you'll be having time up to 5th of September, which is like 2 weeks from now. You can like invest yourself, like you can learn and do, or like if you already have some hands on, you can directly jump on it. And once you have submitted your solutions, like as Saksham has already mentioned, like our team at entire team and also like guys from Pathway will judge your solutions and will get give you the results like within a couple of days.
Yeah.
And also like in the middle, like probably in the upcoming weekend, we'll also be having an inter-IT discussion, like where you can also ask any of your doubts, like if you have any doubts regarding the problem statement or
Yeah.
like that. Like one person asked from the offline session, so like I just want to make it clear. So
What should be the team size? So I think Keshav, I think 4 to 5 members are fine, right? Max of 5 people in one team
yes, yes, it works for us.
works
Four to
fine,
five.
right? So yeah, max of 5 people. I mean, 4 to 5 is a good number. I mean, yeah. Even if someone, let's say they want to work in teams which are comprising of 3 members or 2 members, I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like I mean, team is necessity, so like we will be having a 3 to 5.
anyways, I mean, thanks for the session today. Thanks everyone for giving their time. Yeah, I'll see you.
Section, like it was a wonderful session, like it was better than what we expected. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks, guys.